What's going on? Welcome. Welcome to the show, the breakdown episode 543, sponsored by Gemini. There it goes. The model's over there. Gemini is the sponsor. Trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100 in Bitcoin. Man, I look younger and younger as I come onto the show. Let me continue. Powered by the Gokhshtein News Network. That's right. If you're not following the Gokhshtein account on X, formerly known as Twitter, you're doing it all wrong. Shout out to the news team that continues to go ahead and put out news every single day from the main account. Man, I took off this weekend. I don't know what you guys did, but I took off this weekend. Hold on one second. Let me go ahead and let me drink up here. Not a worry in the world. Not a worry in the world. Yo, I came back onto social media and I was reading the timeline. And I never thought I'd see so many uneducated people in my entire life. I never thought that. And I know a lot of people will take offense to what I just said, but it's the truth. I understand a lot of you guys are angry because you're looking at your wallets and you're down bad. A lot of you guys are down 90%. A lot of you guys are down 95%. You never took profits. I get it. You didn't take profits. You didn't take, you didn't scale out respectfully. You held on and now you're here. And now you're blaming Trump because Trump put in tariffs or implemented tariffs on other countries. Number one, not everything revolves around your shitty ass tokens. That's number one. Number two, you should have done a better job at taking profit or at least having enough money on the sidelines to endure any pullbacks like the one that we're experiencing right now. And I've stated this on multiple shows, multiple podcasts, spaces, which I call radio shows. You go ahead and replay them back. I've told you, man. Have enough money to endure a pullback. Also, have money to participate in the pullbacks. But you chose not to because you chose to follow some people that I don't know. The daily conversations aren't about crypto. The daily conversations are about some fuckery. So, as I've always stated, you are who you surround yourself with. If you surround yourself with people or you consume content from people that are wealthy, more than likely you'll become wealthy. Think about this. I'd like for everybody to go ahead and think about this. Comments are welcomed. You can go ahead and at me on X. You can go ahead and shout me on, on YouTube, on Rumble, on LinkedIn, whatever. But think about this for a second. If you had money on the sidelines, If you had money stored away, if you had money stored away, like from all the things you participated in, if you had money just pushed to the side, you wouldn't be panicking. What you would be doing right now is trying to figure out, how do I buy more? Because the wealthy right now are trying to figure out, how do they buy more, not how do they sell in the red. Nobody who's wealthy sells in the red. They're not trying to catch the top. Okay? No wealthy person is trying to catch the top. They're not chasing. They're not chasing, okay? Not chasing. They're letting, I swear to God, these dogs, bro, these dogs. Oh, oh. But the wealthy aren't chasing. The rich aren't chasing. It's the poors that are chasing, and the poors that are complaining. I'm actually ashamed of my fellow American citizens, the ones that obviously are praying, that Trump's plan and the administration's plan completely backfires. Very disappointed in these individuals. Very, and I'm telling you, very disappointed in these individuals. But to stay on crypto before we go to politics and we talk about the tariffs, you would not be panicking. You would not be running around if you just listened to the right crowd. I'm not saying walk off of a cliff because somebody told you to do so. I am talking about going into, whether it's on X where they have spaces, whether it's on YouTube where you have videos, listening to people that have been here for multiple cycles, not even in crypto, but people who might just trade and have experience for maybe 20 plus years in the stock market. You could have listened in, you could have opened up your ears, and you could have sat back and you could have just sat back and learned. Take a pen out, okay? Take a pen out, write, and just write. Take a pen out and write. That's all you needed to do. And then you devise a game plan. What should I do? How much should I scale out? What should I leave in to let in terms of as a moon bag? What how do I operate? What style best benefits me? These are the type of things you should have been doing. You were obviously entertaining something completely different. I don't know what you were doing. You could have been gooning off. You could have participated in fuckery. You could have participated in drama spaces. If, again, you are what you eat kind of thing, right? You are what you consume. Like if you eat fast food, and I keep on saying this, if you eat fast food every single day, you're most likely going to be massively overweight, high cholesterol, high BMI, like all that stuff. If you exercise every day, if you work out, because this is tedious, right? When you need to go ahead and work out, you got to put energy into it. You got to put everything into it. You got to be determined, motivated. You got to apply rules. You got to devise a strategy when you're working out, right? Because every workout every day is different, or it should be. You guys are angry at the wrong people. You guys are angry at Trump, wrong person. You should be angry at yourself. Okay? You should be angry with yourselves, not angry at Trump. Trump is not the one who went ahead and left you at zero. You left yourself at zero. Okay? You left yourself at zero. And by the way, I am thrilled. I am thrilled with the tariffs. Okay? I am thrilled with the fact that countries now respect the United States of America. Okay? They will, I feel in my heart some of these countries who came out banging with their chests, we're not going to do anything. We're going to hit them with another tariff. Now they're at the table. Now they're trying to negotiate because they finally realized this is not Biden running the goddamn ship. This is Trump, a stubborn person with a huge ego that wants to win. That's right. Trump wants to win. And if he wins, we win. And guess what? Trump gave you an opportunity right now to get into the markets. Yeah, that's right. A market that has never been in your benefit. Wall Street is mad. Let me tell you why Wall Street's mad, because 90% plus, 90% of them voted for Kamala, 90% of them are Democrats. So they're obviously angry and they're doing everything possible to short the markets. Ask anybody who trades and who has traded for a living for years. These are the elites that have money that are shorting the market because they're not Donald Trump supporters. They're not trying to support his plan. Now people are going to say this is tinfoil hat shit. It's not. You just go ahead and look. Look who runs Wall Street. I keep saying this. Look who runs Wall Street. Look how much is owned by the top dogs in Wall Street. 88%. 88% of stocks are owned by the elites. You go down a notch, I think the percent on, if you go down a notch, it's 60s, in the 60s to the lower level. So like if you go away from the 0.05% and you go to the 1%, they own 60%. Bro, like they control the markets. They run shit. But unfortunately right now, Trump runs this shit. You think retail can do what's happening right now? Somebody said that today. Somebody said that on my radio show today in the morning, Crypto Talk Radio. Somebody said that this was retail. Retail is selling. Guys, you think retail has this pull to go ahead and send the markets down 3 days in a row? You think retail has that sort of pull? We don't. I'm sorry to inform you, we don't. We don't have that type of pull. We don't. But as I go back to it, this is a perfect opportunity for every single retail individual to get into the markets. You should be calling your family members and telling them the market had a correction. The correction was due to the fact that Trump put out tariffs to generate revenue for the United States of America to try to fix a broken system, okay, that has been broken for decades now. He is trying to fix it. Ever since Clinton invited the Chinese to come join the WTO, it has been fucked. So here you have Trump trying to fix it. One of the biggest miracles and handoffs right now, people talk about generational wealth. We talk about this in crypto. Yo, this shit also applies right now to the stock market. Go look at the stock market. There are things that are on clearance right now. There are things on clearance right now that will make you life-changing money. Forget about just crypto. You can go ahead and look at the stock market as well. That is one of the benefits from this entire tariff situation. Besides that tariff situation, besides the fact we could keep on going, there's a lot of positives, right? Inflation is down. You can't fight it because that's real data that's available to anybody. Let's keep moving. Eggs are down. Gas prices are down. We can keep going. A lot of things are down. And what happens when the markets come back? What are you going to bitch about Trump? Well, what are you going to say about Trump? Once the markets come roaring back, you'll have nothing to say. By the way, you want to get a house where the rates are coming down? Rates are down. The rates used to be in the 9% area. Now they're in the 5s. Okay? Things are coming down. As promised. As promised. And it's only 11, 12 weeks in? We're only 11, 12 weeks in to Trump's presidency. And here we are. But if you're not a fan of Trump and you're not a fan of the United States of America making revenue, you'll have something negative to say. It's funny, though. You won't find one liberal, you won't find one Democrat that will come out here and say, well, other countries go ahead and put up tariffs. How come it's okay for other countries to put up tariffs, but the United States of America is not allowed to go ahead and participate in this so-called free trade and put in tariffs into place on other countries? So other countries can do it to the United States of America, and we are the biggest buyer of all their shit, but we can't do that back. It's funny. It's funny. We can't put in tariffs into place. We can't put tariffs into place. We can't. We should continue being bent over, okay? No Vaseline, and countries should go ahead and take advantage of us. That's so crazy. And you guys had the nerve on Saturday. Well, you got paid to go ahead and march, what, $200, $300? We saw the videos of you guys reading off the script. You had no clue what the hell you were marching for, but you guys had the audacity to go ahead and march in Boston, in New York. I don't know where else you guys were marching. You marched for what? Because we're draining the swamp. We're getting rid of things that are unnecessary to go ahead and pay for. That is weird. It's funny when Obama talked about this, everybody was like from the liberal side, everybody was, hey, this is great. Obama talked about making these type of cuts. You guys weren't booing him, but it's Trump. This isn't about America and making America better on your side. This is about Trump doing this. You don't like the fact that Trump is the only person in the last how many fucking decades to come into office to actually deliver or try to deliver on his promises. How crazy is it? I love the fact that people are outside saying that nobody voted for Trump. 77 million people voted for Trump. 77 people voted for exactly this. We want this. I voted for Trump. I want this. Yeah, there's downfalls, man. There are downfalls. There are some people that have lost money in the 401ks. Okay. Imagine if Trump didn't take these steps to fix the economy. Imagine what would have happened down the line. Trump's actually trying to save your Social Security. He's trying to save Medicare. He's trying to save these things that the Democrats keep telling you he's trying to get rid of. Trump's killing crypto. Bro, listen, honestly, if you got into any of your cryptos during the bear market, you're still up. That's the truth, though. If you got into any of these cryptocurrencies that you're crying about during the bear market, you're not down. You're still up. If you got into Bitcoin when it hit its bottom, you're still up. What was it? 15,700? 15.5, whatever you want to call it, was in the 15s. If you bought Bitcoin then, you're still up. Bitcoin's what? 77, 78, almost 80? What are we talking about? What are we really talking about? What is the conversation about? Here's the number one. I'm going to say this again. A lot of you guys are into instant gratification. You want, but even when you got money, you didn't even take out. You want to blame somebody. Blame yourself. You didn't scale out. You think you round tripped again? I don't believe you round tripped. I don't believe the bull run is over. Like I don't even. I'm looking at people writing essays on the goddamn timeline. Like, you just show me your education level and you show me that you know nothing about the markets and how they operate. Period. Just to me, it's weird to spend so much time and energy here and not know anything. To not know a single thing about how the economy works is crazy. We have people that come on my show all the time that break down the economy. You guys really don't write shit down. You got pretty smart individuals that do this for a living. Either they do it for a living or they have fun just doing it, or they apply it to their trading. I retweeted Landy's shit. I'm not saying everybody's right, but there's a lot of people that go and dig into this shit and then they give it to you for free. The crazy part about this is that all this information is free. Nobody's charging you for this information. You have the ability to read up on so many things to put yourselves in a better position for free. It's crazy. You get to participate in conversations every single day for free, which would cost you millions of dollars. You imagine how much it would cost you to get in front of somebody who's a multimillionaire, to pick their brain on how they got to the point they're at today? Do you know how much that would cost? And do you know how hard that would be to actually get in front of a multimillionaire, even a billionaire, to go ahead and ask them questions? Yet you have all this, and what have you done with it? Nothing. 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 You have participated in nothing. You have no clue when to take profit. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. I really believe that. By the shit that you guys wrote on the feed, on the timeline, I really believe you guys don't know what the fuck you're doing. There's only a small few here in this entire ecosystem. If you want me to talk about crypto, I'll speak about crypto. There's only a few people that actually know what the fuck they're doing within this ecosystem. Maybe 10%. They're ready to take profits at any time. Welcome to the breakdown, episode 543, sponsored by Gemini. Trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100 in Bitcoin. Click the link. It's in the goddamn bio. It's everywhere, man. Click the goddamn link and sign up. Gemini, America's exchange, and the Gokhshin News Network, obviously powered by the Gokhshin Media Group. And then everybody waits. The biggest thing is everybody then waits for somebody to come save them. And what I mean by that is today showed me everything that I wanted to see. Today showed me that there were people. I opened up my radio show, which goes on at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Crypto Talk Radio goes on at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I opened it up at 8:30 today. Because after reading all the stuff on the timeline, I said, you know what? Let me open this up. Let me open this up. Because a bunch of people were on the timeline crying, talking about they're done with this, it's over, the bear market, this, that, and the third, bro. I was like, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? What bear market are we talking about? You want to say that this is like a better way. Find a new word. Be like, hey, this is something that pretty much this is something that a lot of people haven't seen. Okay? A lot of people haven't seen shit like this. We haven't had a president that's stood on business like we do in Trump. We haven't seen this type of shit. So call it a little downtime in the market right now. But to say that it's a bear? What are we talking about? I'm talking about crypto. To say it's a bear? Where? And when I ask, you know what? Here's the most frustrating part is when I ask, where do you see this bear? Can you show me the numbers? Can you show me a chart? Show me anything. People tell me they're going with their gut. We're in a bear based on your gut. Your gut feeling basically is telling you we're in a bear. This is why I tell you, man, you are what you consume. And then that's the content. If you choose to consume good content, you'll be good. If you choose to consume the fuckery, it is what it is. One thing is for sure, the liquidity is here. It's waiting. It is waiting. It's either entering or it's waiting to enter. Bottom line. That's what I fully believe after I look at numbers. You want to agree to disagree? No problem. I'll have that conversation with anybody any day of the week. But liquidity is not gone, sucked up. That's crazy talk. Second, what made me really bullish today was you had, and I really do believe this. I think people from the White House, or somebody from the White House, not Trump, but somebody there leaks information like today's 90-day pause on tariffs just to gauge what the markets would do. And you know what happened? Today, when that did leak out, for 15 minutes, the markets erupted. So what that tells me is as soon as agreements are made with all these countries like Japan's coming to the table, the EU's coming to the table, Taiwan, Vietnam, shit, I had a pause there. All these countries are now coming to the table, zero tariffs for the United States of America. They're all coming to the table. Once Trump starts taking away these tariffs, what do you think is going to happen? Kaboom. Kaboom. The Fed's holding a meeting today talking about what? What do you think they're talking about? Most likely talking about when they should implement a fucking rate cut. That's what they're probably talking about. They're not going to hold an emergency meeting to just then have Jerome Powell come out and say, well, we're going to stick to our guns here. He's already said that multiple times. We don't need to hear that again from him. They're holding a meeting because they're thinking when should they go ahead and cut a rate? They got enough ammunition to go ahead and do so, by the way. Don't feel bad for the feds. They loaded up when they raised them rates on us. Okay, they got enough ammunition to go ahead and cut them. But that's only a cherry on top. That's only a cherry on top. I'm more curious about the tariffs. I'm more curious about all these countries finally bending the knee and doing business the right way, allowing the United States of America to participate in this so-called free market that everybody else participates in. Seems like everybody else participates in a free market except the United States of America. But for some reason, Americans who voted for Kamala seem to think it's okay for other countries to have tariffs, but it's not okay for the United States of America to have tariffs at all, or put tariffs on other countries, or reciprocate the motherfucker. It's weird. It is crazy business. It's crazy. Thank God we didn't end up with Kamala or Tim Walz, okay? Thank God we didn't end up with Hands, okay? Thank God we didn't end up with Hands over there. Mr. Hands over there. Rocka is a, Radio City. Dancing with his legs on stage and shit. Wild how we can go ahead and really be upset about a person trying to change our economy. It's really wild, man. You know, for anybody who has the fortitude to get into positions right now, you will win out. Okay? Anybody, like, I quote this, clip this, whatever you want to fucking do. Anybody who gets into positions right now in the next few months, you guys will make life-changing money. I am so sure of that. While all these mainstream media outlets owned by BlackRock are talking about, by the way, BlackRock came out today and stated that, 20%, something about 20% of their clients are going to suffer if the tariffs continue. We don't care about your clients. How about that? We don't care about you, BlackRock. Well, I don't care about you, BlackRock. Never did, never will. Okay? BlackRock wants me to feel bad and shed a tear that they might go ahead and, that tariffs might hurt their clientele that are currently sipping mimosas on goddamn yachts. You think I give a shit? Ask me if I care. Ask me if I care. Go ahead, ask me. No, I don't care. Absolutely zero fucks given. That's the cool part about Trump. He's trying to make sure that every single person in the United States of America has an opportunity to get in. Listen, you have the opportunity. If you don't take advantage of it, it's not Trump's fault. But Trump is literally giving every single person in the United States of America an opportunity to get in. By the way, we mentioned this earlier today when I opened up the show. 44% of the stock market is fucking in the hands of foreign entities. Explain that. Our own people, people of the United States of America, the citizens of the United States of America, most people don't own shit. Most people don't own shit. We should have first. It's crazy. Think about this, man. Our own people in the United States of America don't get to own shit, man. Our own people. And you're marching. And you're marching in the streets because Trump, and you shouldn't trust anybody, okay? I get that. But because Trump is doing everything possible to give you a better life, you're mad about that? Remember when Trump was supposed to take women's rights away? How did that work out? Guys, can you please raise your hands? What women's rights were taken away? Apparently Trump was supposed to take away women's rights. Remember Kamala, Tim Walz? Trump was supposed to take away women's rights. What happened there? What happened? I don't hear about that no more. Trump got rid of the woke disease. Everybody's flipping their shit. Nobody talks about that, though, the women's rights thing, right? Democrats are out here. They don't even care about the economy. They are fighting for biological men to be able to compete in women's sports. This is the Democrats' plan of action. This is their number one thing that's on their mind. They don't care about the economy. They care about men, biological men, being able to play in women's sports. You know what? I just don't, any rational person, I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican, but come on. Even Democrats at this point, come on. Can't you see? I get it. You're rooting for the home team, but sometimes you got to say, yo, this team sucks. Sometimes we got to acknowledge that our teams do suck. I'm a Knicks fan. I acknowledge that for a lot of years, the Knicks sucked. We needed a better coach. We needed new players because we sucked. The Democrats have a horrific team. You got a horrific team. Bad team. Really bad team. Welcome to the Breakdown, episode 543, sponsored by Gemini, powered by G Media, the news network. This is the Breakdown. It goes on at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You also have the 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time show, and that is Crypto Talk Radio, where we, obviously talk about crypto. We'll talk about anything, though. This show really is about me fucking shooting the shit and really talking about everything that's happening in the world today, man. Listen, it's never nice to look at your wallets and your savings and all the stuff and your investments, and you're looking and they're down. But what goes down must go up. Take the opportunity that you guys have right now. Number one, you know what I would do? Here's what I would do. Number one, start listening to better conversations. If you are on X, I'm going to speak to the people on X because I know YouTubers don't have a problem with this. To the people on X, start listening and following accounts that are doing research and putting it out there. Research that they've taken their time on to publish. When you look at that research, write it down. Write it down. And I've said this before. Take all the shit, take all the people that you're following, write down all the shit that they're saying. Then use ChatGPT or Grok as your assistant. Take everything written down. Use AI platforms, the ones that you use to go ahead and come up with tweets with that don't sound like you, but use it towards actually game planning towards winning in these markets. That would be my advice. That is my advice. That is literally my advice to every single individual that is currently wondering what to fucking do in this market. Follow the right people. Follow the right people. But that's really it. You know what? I said a lot today. You can go ahead and replay the show today. There were a lot of people on. Well, there were a lot of people. Yeah, I would say there were a lot of people on the panel talking about all the events. I would go ahead and tune into that. Listen to the replay. Listen to the replay today as I went ahead and started the show. I think it's complete nonsense to start panicking. I really do. Start panicking now. 11, 12 weeks in, man. Trump has done more for this country than any other president. I really believe that. And people will say that I'm dick riding, but I mean, that's your opinion. For me, I voted for Trump because I wanted to see America become great again. I wanted, after Trump's gone, after he's done with his presidency, I want our economy to continue to thrive. So, fuck me if all I want to go ahead and see is America to be successful. We have a man in office who's going to bring us to the promised land. I really do believe that. And I hope he just gets 90% of the shit done that he's promised on his, or that he promised on his campaign trail. So appreciate everybody for tuning in today. Really do. I appreciate everybody who tunes in. Obviously, the one thing that I will say is I get people in crypto. I get people in crypto. You guys don't really care about America. Don't take offense to that because it's the truth. You don't care about America. You care about making money. So you would rather have the old song and dance where they print money. Obviously, shit goes up in terms of crypto and the stocks. You take out money, even though some of you guys still won't take out money. And then we're back into the same position again where we're talking about recession. We're talking about rates going up. We're talking about a fucked up economy. You know what? I love America. I'm willing to wait 6 to 8 months, whatever it is. However long this takes to play out, I'm willing. The one thing that you should look at, though, is the midterms are coming. The midterm elections are coming. Trump is not going to give the Democrats a reason to have them elect Democrats into office. Though, obviously, with every president, midterms come along, and sometimes the shit flips. But I'm going to tell you right now, if Trump can go ahead and deliver on all this stuff, especially on the tariffs, and make these agreements and generate revenue to where our deficits come down and we have a balanced budget, it's a wrap. And I am 100% confident that the White House will be controlled by MAGA representatives for the next 20 to 30 years. There's no way that a Democrat will be able to go ahead and get into the Oval Office. I think that'll be held by a Republican for a MAGA Republican for a very, very long time. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate you, son of a guns. I'll see you tomorrow. Tonight, nightly recap, okay? Tune into the nightly recap where we break down the latest news in the world today. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out.